So, what does marriage mean to you guys? Does it mean something, or do you think it's not necessary to even get married?
For me, it's not something I'm thinking about right now. You know, it's always sort of been the thing that when I've settled in life and stuff, that's where I look at that, to be honest.
Do you think it's necessary to get married in life, or do you think a relationship doesn't actually need the marriage to solidify it?
No, I don't think it's needed, but it all comes down to if you both want to have that extra like label on it, sort of thing. Yeah.
What about you?
I've always liked the idea. I like the sort of event around it and the commitment, just sort of being able to say, oh, that's my husband. But I don't think it's necessary. My parents aren't married and they've got two kids and have been together for almost 40 years. So I don't think it's needed, but it's nice.
Okay, what is it that you think makes your parents' relationship last for so long? Because the divorce rate is getting really high these days, right? It's skyrocketing in a way. So, what is it that makes your parents' relationship last so long?
It's hard. They've just, from what I've seen, they've never argued. They've always, there's such respect and love there that any problems that have come up, they've sort of learnt how to figure out together and never there's never been times where they've had to be apart or anything like that. That's a really hard question.
Communication.
Yeah, definitely communication, just honesty and commitment, I think, are the main things.
I don't not believe in marriage, just like people can do. I can understand why someone would want to get married. I can also see why people wouldn't want to get married. So I feel like it just depends on individual choices.
What about you? Do you believe in marriage yourself?
I think I would like to get married, but yeah, I think I probably would get married.
Like, is there a particular reason for which you want to get married?
I kind of just want it for like the celebration point of view rather than like all the like legal and religious things. I'd probably just want it more for the sort of celebration of like you and the other person and just a reason to get everybody, like all your family and friends together.
That's a very good reason. Do you guys subscribe to the idea of marriage, and do you think it's necessary, or do you think it's not necessary?
I don't think it's necessary. I think if people want to get married, sure, go for it. And I see why. I see the appeal of it in terms of, it is a lifelong commitment to someone that you sort of make in front of people. So as in, it's like it is like a legally binding thing. But if people don't want to get married, also, so fine. I think the thing about marriage is then it's like you've made that commitment for life. And obviously, people get divorced. But I think if I was going to get married, I would only do it if I was quite sure that it would be something I would sort of try and see out.
I think I'm quite similar yeah, I don't think that marriage is necessary, but I can see why people do it. It's that lifelong commitment, but I think you can do that without getting like married officially in a ceremony. Because I would subscribe to the longer term relationships being more like beneficial and is better than short term relationships. I think the short term ones work for some people. I do think longer term is much more important, but I just don't think the marriage, it's not that a marriage would make it too permanent.
You don't believe in, basically getting married in front of others, like to show other people that, oh, I'm getting married or something, right? You want to actually feel that connection with somebody, for yourself.
Yeah, the connection is enough for me. I think a marriage has become like quite a commercial thing, and it's more showing your love in front of other people. I don't think that's necessary at all, personally. If some other people like that, that's fine.
It's like Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah.
It's become really commercialized.
It's like a very expensive Valentine's Day. People get in debt to prove how much they love each other, and then marriages can fall apart due to the debt caused by the wedding. I think there's like a big correlation between the expense spent on the wedding and the divorce rate. I think it's like a very high chance of divorce the more money is spent or something. Yeah, I'm sure I've read that somewhere.
I do believe in marriage, but I think that nowadays people don't take it as seriously, and the divorce rates are pretty high.
So why do you believe in marriage?
I believe in marriage just because I want a companion for the rest of my life, and I don't see the point of, just being by myself. And when you get married, you get tax benefits. So
Okay, what about you?
I think I believe in love. I mean, marriage itself, like, I don't know, I guess it really depends on the couple. I would like to get married, but if the person I fall in love with doesn't really believe in marriage, I'm not gonna like enforce it either. You know what I mean?
Like basically you are seeking like a more meaningful relationship rather than the actual marriage itself. You don't mind getting married, but you're okay with not getting married as well.
Yeah, and also like as for like I would rather get married under like God than for the state. Like I don't really get the point of that. So if I was to get married, I would want the wedding to be very intimate, whether it's through paper or not. So I guess I believe in marriage.
What about you?
I totally agree because I think marriage itself is like a label, but it's more about the bond that you have with the person. So you can call it marriage, you can call it love, you can call it a relationship. It doesn't really matter. But when you can get married, why not just like celebrate it, this new bond?
Have you ever thought about getting married, or what does marriage mean to you? Do you think it's even necessary to get married?
I'd like to eventually. I just think I think it's tradition, obviously, but I feel like if you've found that person, I don't see why not getting married to them and, committing to that person.
Okay. What about you?
I would say along the same things, yeah.
Do you think it's necessary to get married though to solidify the relationship with somebody?
No. If it works, it works and it flows. I don't think you specifically have to get married, but I guess it's just like I said, it's just a nice traditional thing to do. If you really like someone, like you really love someone, and you want to, settle down with them, get married.
It's a very nice ceremony, right? What about you?
Yeah, I agree. Besides, the traditional part is just a legal document. So you don't have to necessarily do it.
Legal document that potentially helps you with your tax benefits as well. So what does a marriage mean to you? Do you think it means something to you, or do you think it's necessary to even get married?
No, I don't think it's necessary to get married. I think if you want to get married, it can solidify your bond with your partner, but I don't think you need that to have that sort of bond.
I mean, I believe it's a real thing, like it is a thing, people do it, but I don't I don't subscribe to the idea of marriage. I think it's again a very personal choice. I think marriage can mean different things for different people, and so if it's something for you which you need as a deal breaker, like I know my brother, for example, my younger brother, he's very much adamant that he wants to get married. He's like, I want to have a wife, I want to have kids, I want to have a life like that. For me, it's not necessary to have a fulfilling relationship. If you have a marriage, great. If you don't, also great. It doesn't make a difference to me. I think it's a very arbitrary rule that way back when, obviously I think this links as well to my whole beliefs in like not believing in God and things like that, and the church or any religion or anything, because I believe that everything's like, we're all here by chance. It's very much just like coincidental, and in the same way that we're all here by chance and it's just all like happened by accident, which kind of informs like the way that I live my life, because I believe that then if that's the case, you kind of have to live every day to the fullest, because otherwise you don't know if you're going to die tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? Literally. Pretty much, yeah. So that's also why I'm so open, because I'm just like, yeah.
Live your life to the fullest, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Pretty much, yeah. Sounds cringy. It is cringy, but it's true.